I really hate hipster comedy. Anybody else? People always talk about they hate hipsters, and yet they tolerate hipster comedy so much. And I don't understand that. I don't understand the idea that you're not supposed to write jokes. That you're just supposed to talk about your day. And they're always going on stage, you're like, yeah, I don't really have anything, you guys. Nothing really happened to me today, you guys. And then they go 2 minutes over time. I'm like, we got it, you didn't have anything. Shut the fuck up. And I hate how in LA, just like every coffee house manager is like the gatekeeper between you and a shitty show. Right? Like every barista wants to throw his weight around because he didn't go to college. You're like, yeah, I heard about your show. I was on ABC and New York Post called me one of the best comics in America. They're like, well, this is Coffee Bean. We're going to need to see a video. So I don't spend a lot of time with real people. I just hang around with a bunch of comedians. And so whenever I'm around real people, it's kind of like I don't know how to talk to them or act around them. And here's what I've discovered about real people, and no offense to real people. You don't really know how to edit a story. You ever been to a party and somebody's just going on and on and on? You just want to go, you're bombing at this party! Wrap it up, Judy. I was hanging around with a bunch of comedians after an open mic one night, and it was like me and 5 male comics. And it was just like being in a live diorama of the autism spectrum. Like the first one was a little awkward, and then all the way the 5th one was reading from the encyclopedia. So I was in this, you know, I've been doing comedy a long time, and I was in this showcase a while back, and I was like, you know, Bobbie, this is great. You deserve this. You earn this. You're in this showcase. And then this girl comes up to me who's in the show, and she was like, I'm not even a comedian. I was discovered in a coffee shop. I was like, oh, I'm going to be discovered in a pool of blood on the bathroom floor. So thanks for that. I went into my favorite coffee place, Swart Coffee, and the guy was like, oh my God, Bobbie, you just missed it. A comedian saved our tip jar. I was like, I don't believe that. You go, no, somebody was going to steal our tips and a comedian helped it. I was like, I don't believe a comedian did something for somebody else. And then they said, no, there was this little kid and he was going to take our tips and this comedian beat him up. That I believe. That story I believe a comedian beat up a little kid. But there's a 50-50 chance he was never going for the tip jar. Do you guys know the voice in your head that is always running and usually criticizing you? Yes. What? Just us on this side? Okay. Well, I discovered when you start to get a little successful, it doesn't go away. It just changes strategies. Like it used to be, you're a loser, you suck, you'll never amount to anything. And then you start getting a couple things and it's like, they're gonna find out. Everyone's gonna know you're a fraud. You think animals have that voice? You know, like telling them they're a shitty raccoon? Because I'm a shitty raccoon. Do you think, like, in the animal community or kingdom or whatever, do you think anybody ever, like, throws anybody a pity fuck? Do you think anyone's like, well, you know, Bobbie's not the alpha buck. He's never gonna win that antler thingy. He's a nice guy. I should go fucking behind that bush. Isn't like half the people you fucked just because they were not offensive? People always ask me, do you have jokes about airplane food? I'm like, no, I never had gigs that good. I have jokes about AAA. Taco Bell. Hey, you guys know when you were little kids and these guys built this fort and they put up a sign that says no girls allowed?
Yes.
They produce comedy now. There's so much misogyny in comedy. There's so many like young white dudes doing comedy. I can never tell if I'm watching Comedy Central or American History X. It's so hard to give people directions here, like how to go, you know, this cross street and that. And somebody was like, is that the northeast corner of the street? I was like, what am I, Pocahontas? One of my biggest pet peeves is when other blondes go, I'm such a dumb blonde. I just want to go, no, you're not. You're just dumb. Don't drag me into it. I'm blonde, I have big boobs and a southern accent. You can imagine how seriously people take me. I feel like when I go on stage and people hear my accent, they want me to be Jeff Foxworthy or Larry the Cable Guy. And then I start talking, they're like, oh my God, she has